Hello and welcome again to another episode of the Real Life Show. I'm your humble host, Amos Bermo. And if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button and maybe even leave a comment. Tell us what you think about this video after you finish watching the video. Today with us, we have the manager of Songwa Star Cooperative Credit Union, Obala branch located in Yaoundé, and is here to share with us some insights on or let me say some sacrifices you as a graduate or someone who is seeking employment, some of the sacrifices you need to do or some of the things you need to forego in order to get yourself where you want to be. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Mr. Yenda for me. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Let's begin this way. I want you to tell us your own journey. Tell us your journey from graduation to where you are right now, where you are today.
Okay, so I graduated from Bambili in 2023, and I started my voluntary service immediately after graduation, and I was in our present branch in Bamenda, normally located at the food market. So I did probation, or let me say my voluntary service in the food market for about a month, and then I moved to Limbe. Back in Limbe, I did my internship there for 8 months, and after that 8 months, I was finally told to come to Yaoundé, and I was employed in Yaoundé as the accountant in our Yaoundé branch, and worked in Yaoundé branch for 5 months. From there, I was promoted to the branch manager of Obala branch.
That is very sweet and quick journey. You know, for somebody to be in a matter of 2 to 3 years, you leave from an intern to a manager to a bank manager. It doesn't matter the branch. You know, it's a journey that everybody would want to have, but not everybody can experience. You get what I'm saying? Now, you said you did internship for 6 to 8 months in Bamenda and in Limbe. How were you paid during this internship period?
No, I was not paid. I was not paid to do this voluntary service.
How did you manage? How did you balance the fact that you are showing up at work every day and not getting anything in return?
Okay, so it just took sacrifices. I had to try and then be there on time, be there every day, show up to work time and again, because I knew what I was heading for. I knew at some point I will not be at that same level again. I'll be promoted and I will be employed and promoted to a bigger position. So that's why I kept on putting in the sacrifices and giving it the go ahead.
Before you moved to Limbe, did you ever think that it might get more difficult? I mean, the fact that you are already used to Bamenda and then having to move to Limbe, what pushed you?
Okay, so the reason I left Bamenda and moved to Limbe was because I was trying to figure out if I could get a place with more opportunities. Moving to Limbe, I did not focus only on the same branch where I was working, but I deposited my documents in that same union and also in other places just to try and see if I could get a better position.
What was your biggest expectation after graduating from the university?
So one of my biggest expectations was to find myself as a working accountant and not doing internship somewhere. But it was really not that easy to get the job immediately after graduation.
So do you think people underestimate the amount of sacrifices you need to do?
Yes, people actually underestimate the amount of sacrifice you need to go through to be able to get the job right now.
Let's say there is someone at a level of graduation now and is hoping for employment after that. What are you going to tell them?
So the best advice I can give someone who is at the point of graduating and is willing to go into the labor market right now is immediately after their graduation, they should just try to deposit their documents in the different places where they did internship, because those are the first people that will be able to employ them, since they have worked with them before and they know what they are capable of doing.
Even so, do you think they like you know where you did these places where you did your voluntary service? Is it where you used to do internship when you were still in school?
Yes, when I was in school, I did internship with this same union for 2 semesters. I did my internship with them back in year 2 and also in year 3.
And then after graduating?
And after graduating, I deposited my documents with them for voluntary service.
Meaning after internship for 2 years, you went there again and did voluntary service for 6 to 8 months?
Yes.
Without pay?
Yes.
Do you think many people will be able to do that?
Not really. It's a very tough journey. Because that period of you doing voluntary service, the first thing you need to look out for is housing, is your shelter. Where will you stay? When you get where to stay, you need to be looking at what will you eat. And then the most challenging issue right now comes from transportation. How you transport yourself to work every day, get yourself dressed, and all of those type of things. So you actually put so much into it and sacrifice a lot to be able to attain it.
What are the things you had to forgo in order to be where you are today?
Most of my leisure time, because working that way, it actually took me almost all of my day hours. Go to work at 7:30 and then you come back maybe at 4:30. You're left just with maybe 2 hours of daylight to do your different things with it. Sleep. The next day you have the same routine again. Every day. You have no breaks, except it's a public holiday or you take off permission that you want to go back home and do something else.
Now, how many of you do you think are employed as of right now from your graduate class?
From my graduate class, I cannot really say how many, but I know just of 5 people at most. I know just about 5 people who are employed right now.
5 people are employed right now that you know of?
Yes.
They went through the same voluntary service?
Yes, some of them went through the same voluntary service.
So, what you're basically saying is, you need to be able to endure voluntary service in order to get employment.
Yes. Because some people take it, some people misunderstand it and simply think when you go in and want to do voluntary service, or they mostly call it right now as professional internship. When you're going in for professional internship, it means they'll pay you. But that's not what it is. Professional internship and voluntary service are pretty much the same things, because it is the branch manager who is supposed to give out your name maybe to the head office, that we have this person with us here right now, and the person will want to do voluntary service with us. They're the ones now to decide that, okay, maybe at the end of the month, we'll give you 20,000 francs for transport or whatsoever amount they decide on. But you just need to have it in mind that voluntary service, professional internship, you don't get a pay except they have something to compensate you for your transportation.
Out of good heart?
Yes.
During your time of voluntary service or professional internship, like you call it, did you have to do other things, maybe to get funding in order to survive your voluntary service?
Yes, I had to get myself involved in other little activities to be able to generate some income for me to pay my transportation to work and do other things also, like feeding and also everything else. Did you ever complain
like to the office that maybe you are having a hard time with transportation or feeding or housing? Did you ever give that kind of a complaint to them?
Yes, I remember I complained about it once, and I complained just about transportation. Said I was not having transportation, and he said, okay, how much is my transportation for a week? I said it's 7,000 francs, because my transport a day was 1,000 francs, 500 francs to go, 500 francs to come back. So 1,000 francs a day, 7,000 a week. They gave me 10,000 francs at the end of the week. I used it the next week, but truth be told, I did not even use that 10,000 francs for up to 4 days, because even feeding and everything else was there.
What's inside?
So I just complain that day because I was not having anything. Because I complained on the weekend that I may not come the next week. And they said, what's the problem? I said, transport. They said, okay, they'll withdraw 10,000 francs and give you. That was just out of the manager's goodwill. It's the manager who decided to do that. He said he still needs to contact the head office. But at the moment, they were not employing. There was no employment. They were just waiting and waiting and waiting before the time for recruitment will come, and they'll say, okay, drop your documents.
Before you got employed, did you have to pass through any, network in order to get this employment?
Not really. You just had to. I just continued working while waiting for the update from them, even though they were like, just continue, we'll give you an update very soon. They'll launch recruitment very soon. You'll have the upper advantage. So just continue putting in the work.
But are there people that you would say they get employment through networking rather than passing applications?
Maybe only if I don't know about it. But whenever you want to work in the microfinance, you must definitely drop your documents. Maybe you can have an agreement with someone else somewhere, but that I've not seen that or heard about it.
Let's just say 5 people drop documents, and then you among those 5 people, the manager on a personal level. Do you think sometimes it increases your chances of getting the job?
Yes, I can say it increases your chances. Because when you know someone, the person will always also try to help you out. But when it comes to recruiting now, recruitment is not based only on the manager's level. They follow hierarchy. So when your documents are given to the manager, he sends them also to the person who is above him. And then that is now his point for him to say now that this person, I know this person well, the person works like this is what the person did. And then that can also boost your own advantage now of coming in.
So at the end of the day, sometimes networking.
Yes. Sometimes networking definitely plays its role also.
Yeah. Now, do you think people should be more open to doing unpaid internships or low-paying jobs for experience?
I would say you should try to enroll yourself in anyone you find yourself in, actually, because both the low-paying job, if you get a low-paying job and you're not able to get some of the things you want, is better than sitting at home. And also maybe getting the voluntary service just to gain more experience and know what the work is all about. It makes a lot of sense, because when you go to some jobs, they tell you they are looking for, when you look at some job descriptions, they tell you these are the documents they need. They need your advanced level, graduation, they need your documents from school, your degree and all of that. Then they also go ahead to say they need a 1 year working experience or 2 years working experience. Maybe you have all of that already. It will now boost you to get that job that they're asking for. Even though maybe some people will not really look at that aspect of the working experience, like they write it on the forms. But doing both the low paying job and the voluntary service all play a role when it comes to your working experience.
Well, your first employment was Limbe or Yaoundé?
My first employment was in Yaoundé.
In Yaoundé?
Yes.
Now, when you were first paid, the payment you were getting at that time, was it able to sustain your day-to-day life?
At the level of
let's forget about you saving anything.
Yes. No, if it comes to that, just having to deal with the things the things I needed to do at that point in time without any savings, it will cover up for that. But if you're looking at it to the point where I had to get my things done, like house rent, feeding, transportation, and maybe saves, it was not easy to do that for the first 3 months, because I had some things to put in place first. So at the first month when you get paid, it does not really boost you enough to get some money to save. So you still need to have, I will still emphasize on needing to have a side hustle that can be able to pay some of your bills.
The job alone will not do it.
Yes, the job alone will not do it. You need to have a side hustle.
Did you face moments of doubt or regret when making those sacrifices that you did for this?
Yes. And at some point I found myself dropping documents in other places, even though I was already assured that I will work with the people I was working with. But since he kept on taking so much time, I had to go around, drop documents in other places.
You are beginning to doubt if at all you are going to get the job.
Yes, and if at all I took the correct decision even to go into that voluntary service.
Other places where you dropped your documents, what became of it? Did they consider you or?
Yes, 2 of them called me, even though the first one he called and was like, the first one called and said I should come present myself to him. I presented myself to him. He asked what I can do. I explained everything, but he was like, he wants a marketing agent and everything. I told him I produced everything that I could do for him already. But what made me to leave the place was the pay. He said he'll pay me 60,000 per month. I could not live with 60,000. I left. That's how I turned down that one. The second one was also in a credit union. That first experience was in a supermarket. They said with time, if I'm able to boost up their sales and everything, they'll move it up to 80,000, but I was not comfortable with that. So I had to leave and continue looking for a job elsewhere. The second place I dropped was also another credit union. They called me, but I was already transferred to Yaoundé, and I could not turn down the job offer in Yaoundé because it was better than being in Limbe.
So, being paid, how many people, what percentage of you do you think would accept a 60,000 paying job?
This our present day. Honestly, I don't think up to 20%. I don't think so, because having to deal with rentage, most especially in Yaoundé here, it will be difficult, especially in town. Maybe in Bamenda, you'll be able to pay a house for a month, maybe 40,000 or 50,000, but that's already more than half of your salary if you're earning 60,000. So I must say 60,000 francs paying job, maybe not up to 20%.
Now, at the time when you are offered 60,000 francs, you are not already getting paid at where you were. Like, what made you feel like, why didn't you think I should abandon these people and take the 60,000?
Because me abandoning them at that point in time would be like, I've wasted my time or all those years for nothing. Taking that amount it'd be like I'm not doing enough for myself. Because when I was moving around dropping those documents in all of those places, I had received a call also that I should come back to work. I had stopped already for a period of 2 weeks. I stopped working with them for that 2 weeks. So they said I should come back. They have already talked with the board and they have had their meeting. I'll be transferred to another branch, and that will be in Yaoundé. So I was still reconsidering it while moving in all of those other places, just seeing their own offers. So their offers did not really make enough. It did not make sense to me. That's why I turned them down and continued back with this.
While dropping your documents, did you have like a minimum amount that you wanted to be paid?
Yes, I had made up my mind already and said, this is the amount I'll be going in for. If it's something less than this, I will not go in for it.
Take.
Yes.
What was the minimum amount?
I would not like to disclose that.
No, I mean, just to tell other people, let other people know that, okay, if you study what I studied, or if you are studying what I studied, you should be aiming for this. Don't go in. You have already made it clear that 60,000 was not in your list. You did not list it anywhere.
60,000 did not cut it at all, and it was not up to half of what I wanted.
It was not even up to half of what you wanted.
Yes. It was not up to half of what I wanted. So
let's just say, let's just put it at minimum wage. Don't go in for anything less than 100,000.
Yes, I was not going for anything less than 100,000.
As of now that you are employed, I believe, now that you are a manager, I believe what you are getting can, sustain you on a monthly basis. If you are to pay somebody now, if they assign you if you are being assigned the task of employing and determining how much to pay people, how much do you think you would pay somebody that has just left the university?
That will now depend on your post. Now depend on the post you're going in for, because every post or every position has a minimum. Every post or any position has a particular amount that they need to pay them. Going in for a cashier, you will not do the same work that an accountant does. So you'll not expect to be paid the same amount with an accountant. An accountant does not do the same thing that a loan officer works. So you'll not be sitting to take the same price of the other party. So going in for a particular offer, you should be able to understand that this is what this person is being paid, this is how much you're being paid, and all of those. It's already written into agreements already, and like with us in the credit union and all of those places, the credit union or microfinances, the minimum wages for all of those positions, they are already set in place.
Now let's go back to when you are just getting employed. Did they ask you how much you think you deserve, or they already have a fixed amount to give you?
So I was asked that question when it comes to when I went to one of those shops. Let me see, it's one of those supermarkets, because I saw they had put out the flyer that they wanted a marketing agent. So when I went there, they asked me my qualifications and everything. I told them, so they said, how much do I think I can be paid? That was my first time hearing that question. So I was surprised, and I was the answer I gave them, they said, okay, they will see what to do about it. But can I take 60,000 for a start? Which I turned it down because I was not comfortable with 60,000 paid.
When they asked you this question, did you tell them exactly your mind, or you felt like, no, let me lower this amount a little just to get this job, or you went for the most amount that you can get?
I lowered the amount because I felt like maybe if I give them exactly what is in my mind, they will say, no, it's too much for that particular job.
So you lowered the amount, and they still could not.
Yes, I lowered
give
the
it
amount,
to you.
but they still gave me a lesser amount. Said they cannot work with that at the moment, but I should just come work with them, and with time, if they see results, they will get to that amount I mentioned.
What about where you are working now? Is that the same thing you went through with them?
No, with where I'm working right now, it's microfinance. And when it comes to microfinances, they already have amounts set in place for different posts.
You don't have any say about it.
You can have a say, you can contradict it, but it should not be like too extravagant. Because you coming in as a cashier, you're not going to get the same pay rate as an accountant, or as an accountant, you're not becoming to get the same pay rate as a loan officer. They vary. There are different positions with different activities.
What is the minimum wage that your credit union pays?
I'm mentioning that amount now, like maybe scare some people away. Because, well, let me not put it like scare some people away. Mentioning that amount now will not really be conducive enough. It's actually how can I put it? It's confidential information. That's confidential information. You're supposed to know your amount on your own. No one else is supposed to know.
How did you deal with moments where you had to see your classmates doing better than you? Where it seemed like your classmates were doing better and you are just here doing unpaid internship?
It's when it comes to that part, I actually had to deal with a situation like that. I had two friends who were already employed and were being paid where they were. And they said they launched recruitment in their own place. I should come and work with them. Maybe I'll be paid there also, but I said moving again from here to another location, it will just be double expenditure on me. Since I've already been told this is how we're going to work here and everything was already in place, I decided to continue.
Now, what role did your family and friends play during this stage of sacrifice?
Okay, so I must say when it came to family and friends, my circle actually, they really boosted me when it came to finances at times, and even my parents too. They helped me when I asked for some financial help, like maybe getting a house for a start, but I was also having my savings and everything. So it was not really like a big deal for me to be asking all the time. It was just within some particular periods of time, maybe just, in a year, every time is not very, very okay. So it was just for about a period of 2 months, which was really done good. They actually played a good role, which helped me a lot.
What's one sacrifice you would recommend somebody who is serious about getting a job? What's one sacrifice you would tell them to consider making?
I'll tell you to consider the fact that when you go and drop your documents and they tell you you're coming in for probation or voluntary service. Probation and voluntary service are two different things. But you should know when you're going in and you say you want to do professional internship, you should know that you're not having a particular amount they can pay you. For example, when it comes to professional internship, when doing professional internship, they can pay you about 35,000. They pay you from 25 to 35,000 francs. It ranges between that. It ranges between there, and that amount is just. They tell you this is for your transportation. They are compensating you, so you should be able to be contented with that. And the main thing that will always assist everybody is management. You should know how to manage. I'm not advising anybody to go ahead and do a 1 year or more than 5 months unpaid internship. I did that voluntary service because I was trying to achieve something. I knew where I was heading to, and not everybody will be that patient. So when going in, the only thing I can tell you is after graduation, wherever you drop your documents for internship or anything, you should just be willing to take the sacrifice. But if it is above you, if you feel like that time is too much, because the minimum time for you to do an internship and get the pay, maybe they employ you and all of those type of things, should be 5 months. If you do it for a period of 5 months and you're still not employed, give a letter. Ask them what is the reason or why are they taking so much time to employ you. Because maybe my own problem, one of the reasons I took so much time was because I was not having someone to tell me that do this or do that. But when I figured it out that I was supposed to just drop my documents, I went ahead with that, and that is why I found myself getting a job at the later period.